Hello everyone and welcome back to Crazy Bees. My name is Debbie and thank you so much for joining us today. Today we are going over the best tools for sweeping your floor and some that aren't so good. I'm going to show you all the different tools that I have for sweeping floors, and then you make your own judgment on what works best for you. I am just showing you what works best for me and hoping to give you some insight on some of the pros and cons. If there's a certain one that you were thinking about buying or not buying, and I may be able to help you with that decision. So when you think of sweeping floors, the first thing you think of is what? Your traditional broom, right? So I love a broom because it's great for getting into corners and all of that, but it is not my favorite, because when you are sweeping, especially if you're in a home that has a lot of dust or a home that has a lot of dog hair, you're literally throwing that stuff up in the air. It's not catching it and keeping it controlled. It's just throwing your dust everywhere. So it is not my favorite tool for using on floors, but it is great if I'm running baseboards that just need to be dusted off, or if I am sweeping off some vents and I don't have my little broom, which brings me to my next broom. I love having this little guy. He has his own attachment, his own dustpan attachment, and I can go and do all of my ceiling vents with this. Now, when you're trying to do it with a broom, you know, you got this long handle that you're trying to deal with when you have your vents and they come down from the ceiling like this. Then you're trying to be on a ladder with this thing and you're trying to do this, and it just doesn't work very well. Now you do have the ones that, this one doesn't, but you do have the ones that will screw off, and you can screw them off and on. But after time, I've also noticed that then it wants to unscrew when you're trying to actually use the broom. So this little guy here works great for that. You can be up on the ladder, you can get the inside and the outside of your vents for your air conditioner, and you can get your ceiling vents. If you have vents on the floor, you can do that. Even vents in a trailer, you can unscrew those and sweep them out with this. So this little guy works really good. And of course, it's good for if you just have a little pile on the floor that you need to pick up. You got your dustpan and your broom right here. So this works good for that. Also not my favorite, but this one comes in handy. For that, for the vents, it is my favorite. I take that back. Okay, so we had already discussed that my favorite sweeping tool is this one and another one. This is the Hero, and this is the one that attaches to my vacuum. So I can use this on the long handle or on the short handle. I see no reason why I'd want to use it on the short handle though, because I need the length when I'm doing my floors. So it just pushes right into that. Now, depending on which Shark you buy, you would need a different Hero attachment. This one has fit many of my vacuums, but the newer ones, some of them, especially the ones that are battery operated, they take a different Hero. So when you go into Shark for accessories, if it didn't come with it, which the Hero often does not come with your Shark when you buy your Shark, very seldom does it. But I found out about this because one of the Sharks that I bought, it was when this first came out. Of course, they were promoting it at that time, so it did come out with the vacuum. But when you go into Shark for accessories, you put in the model number of your vacuum and it will pull up the right attachment, Hero attachment that you need for your vacuum. Now this is, like I said, one of my favorites because, and for making sure that you're getting everything and nothing's flying through the air. That is the main reason why this is my favorite attachment, because it's literally sucking everything up and not letting anything fly through the air. So we'll demonstrate this one in a minute. My other favorite attachment, you're going to think I'm very strange, but the Swiffer is one of my favorite tools for cleaning, okay? And I'll show you why, the many reasons when we do that. But when I'm done with my Swiffer and it's a little bit dirty, I don't throw it away, because a box of these things is nearly $14. So I get as much use of it as I can. So this is the 6-foot Swiffer. It's a double. So you literally put 2 Swiffers on there. So I'll take 2 of the Swiffers if they're not bad. I mean, I'm not gonna go into a deep clean and have this very gnarly Swiffer from the dust that I got out of a deep clean and then try to use that on my floors. For one, it's not gonna pick up very well. But you would be amazed at the amount of dirt that these things pick up. This is my number 2 favorite for cleaning floors. And I will show you the very many reasons why. This is also the one that I use in most of my houses, because to get out the vacuum, put that head on it and, you know, the hero, and do things, and then also use this to get under things. It's just a lot easier just for me to stick with one thing and keep going with it. The reason I love this so much is because I can get under, around, behind just about anything that I need to. And that makes my houses look a lot shinier when I'm done cleaning them for my clients. So this is my number 2. My number 3 is this guy. This right here is, let me bring it down. It tightens. There we go. This is the Norwex. Now this is a little bit more of an expensive cleaner for your floors, but it works great. This is the pad. As you can see, I use it all the time. This is the pad for the tile. Then they have another pad that you have that is really soft that you can use for wood floors. Now this pad here you could use for wood floors or for tile. It's not going to hurt your wood floors. It's soft, but it's got the fuzzy grooves to get into your grout and things like that. So that's why that's used more for tile. And then this is used for, like I said, the wood floors. And then they have another one that's more of a scrubby one that you can use for your wet floors, which we will do a wet floor video in another video. So the reason I like this one, it's not, like I said, it's not my favorite, but it's great for a quick sweep through the house. If someone's coming or whatever, I can grab this, sweep up real quick, and then I can go back through and use the wet just to do a little bit of touch up if we have somebody coming over and I want a little touch up on the floors. It is like static cling. So when you're sweeping with this, it like creates this static cling on the pad. So everything is like sticking to it. If you go to lift it up off the floor, you can just kind of get that resistance from the pad. So I think that's pretty cool with this one. I like that. And this is one along with the other 4 that I'm going to show you that you can use on your floors. You can use them, and with the double Swiffer too, with this one too. You could use them on your walls, you can use them on your baseboards. You can, you can go a lot of places with these pads, these dry pads. They're more than just for floors. I'm not sure if you've ever tried it, but you could run one of these on your walls, and you don't think about it, but your walls actually get dusty. and these will help to take the dust off your walls. So that's that one. One of the most popular ones that people get, and I'm sure you've seen this one, is this guy here. This is your basic Swiffer, right? And it comes with these pads here. Now they have new pads out. So what you do is you take this and you stick it in here, and you just clip those all into there like that, okay? And it's got the flat. Now, I don't like this one for my regular floors. It works great for wood floors, but not on my tile floors where I have the grout, because this does not keep the stuff on the pad. It just kind of pushes it into the grout. It's good for all the fur and the dust and all of that, but not if you have pebbles or straw, or like us, we come in and out from, you know, like doing our chickens and stuff like that. We get stuff off of our shoes because we don't have a mud room. So we get debris on the floor, which you will see in a little bit here. And so this one I don't feel works well. They have another one that they came out with that's got more a thicker fuzzy on it. They're called heavy duty Swiffer pads. Those work better than these, and they're fine, just not my favorite. And then they have these ones that you can buy from Amazon, which I thought were pretty cool. And they help a little bit more with the debris because they're thicker and you can wash them, so they're reusable. See? So these ones are reusable. You clip them in the same way and use them that way on your floors. So those work good. That's the Swiffer. And then I've also tried another one. This one is called the Fly Lady. One of my clients had this and I tried it out. And what you do with this one, there's actually another pad for floors, and I don't know if you guys ever saw those big red fuzzy things that you use on your cars to dust off your cars. It looks a lot like that, but it's made for this. So that's what you would put on that one. And then it has another one also for dual purpose. You can put a wet pad on this also for mopping your floors. I thought I had brought one in here, but I don't see it. And then they clip into, you know what, I'll pause and see if I can find that. Okay, you guys, I am back. Whoops. Okay, we are back. And I found the other one that I was looking for. Like I said, that red one is really fluffy and all red right here, and it's got these red tabs on it. And what you do with this, I usually do this on the floor, so we'll see if I can do it in the air, is you have these two things right here, right? So you take this and you put this like this, and then on these right here, you slip those underneath there, and you clip it down. I don't know if you can see that. See how you clamp it down right there? I'm not gonna have this totally straight on here, doing it in the air. I usually do it sitting on the floor. And also, I feel like this one got dried in the dryer because it has shrunk. Whenever you wash any of your drying pads for your, or not even just the drying pads, if you're using your steam mops or your pads for wet washing or your Norwex pads, any of those, just like that. See how it's not fitting right. This should fit across this whole thing and not have any, plus I don't have it on there with, oh, trying to do things in the air here. Okay, well, you get the gist. So this one is for your wet work, But like I said, whenever you're washing any of your pads, even your mop heads, do not put them in the dryer, and do not use any kind of fabric softener or fabric sheets on those products. For one, it makes them so that they shrink and they don't fit properly. And the other thing you end up having a problem with is they don't work properly, because then they have that softener or the anti-cling or whatever on them, so they're not able to do the job that they're supposed to do because of the chemicals that were left on them. So you only wash them and you air dry them. You never put them in the dryer. So that is the Fly Lady. If you are wanting to do a wood floor and you don't want any streaks left, this is a great tool for that. It is very good about not leaving streaks, because this is a microfiber pad. So that was the main reason why I got this, was to use it on some wood floors from some of my clients' homes. And it did the job that it was supposed to do. And that is flylady.com, I believe. Now this one here is just one of your typical run-of-the-mill, find it at your big box stores. I believe I got this one from Home Depot. It's got your tile, it's got your hardwood floor. You can do it on either one of those for the scrubbing. So that's what works well for that, for the sweeping. And then it also comes with the other ones that you put on it that you can also use for mopping your floors. So again, another dual purpose that I used to use for more of a commercial use. Some of these I don't use anymore, but I wanted to show you what's out there. And then there's this one here. Where is that? Oh, the Norwex. Okay, so then there's this one here that you push this little button, it folds down, you take this out, and it's another multi-purpose. You can get this wet to use on your floors. You can use it like this for dry floor mopping. Either way, it comes with a couple different pads. It's on the, on the cheaper end. And where you're going to have your problems is right here. After a while, this breaks down, or the clips break. I've had problems with the clips breaking too. And then, but this one too, you can see that it has multifunction. If something happened with this guy and you couldn't use these, you could also use some different pads that you could put the cloth in those holes. And this just goes in here, it goes like that, and then you clip it shut. Just like that. So like this, and then clip it shut like, boy, that doesn't want to work very well. Okay, just push that black button in and clip it back in. So that's that one there. And of course it extends, they all extend out. So you can use your length to whichever degree works best for you. And the other one that I was going to show you, you could use on your Norwex or any other pad that's got Velcro. I used to clean a couple of hair places, salons. And let me tell you, the hair in those places, I would use my Hero, and there was so much hair going through there that it would get up into my filter. So, big clumps, and I didn't want that going through my filter and clogging up my vacuum. So I found these. I would use these, and they worked very well. They're kind of the static clingy. They're from Rubbermaid. They're called Hygen, Hygen, and they could attach. So here's my Norwex right here. So this would attach because the Norwex has the Velcro there. Just like that. And then you could use this on your floors. And this you just take off, throw it in the trash if you wanted something that was disposable. I got these off of Amazon, I believe, and they weren't the cheapest, but if you're looking for something that's disposable, these work very well, and they do pick up quite a bit of stuff before you have to throw them away. I would go through the whole salon with this, and it would pick up all the stuff, and then I would just go behind with the vacuum to get any little particles, because just like the Swiffer, this is a flat pad, so it's not going to pick up any little pebbles or rocks or anything like that. It's just going to get all the hair and dust and things like that on it. So it does work good for that. So those are all of the cleaning tools. If you are working in an industrial type area where you need something bigger, this guy here works really well. This is your industrial duster right here. So this is what you would use if you're in bigger buildings where you have a lot of space and you don't want to go using one of those other small dusters that are going to take you forever to get that done. So I'm going to clean up all of this, and then I'm going to come back and we'll go over my top 3 and the reasons why they are so. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to do this strip that's right along the couch, and you can see, there I zoomed it in, you can see all the debris that is on this area of the floor, okay? So we're going to do this strip right here. And I am going to try to keep the vacuum with the camera here. Now I have also set this, I'm going to set it to hard floor, okay? Which you can see right there, that's the one for hard floor. Okay, so that was the hard floor tool. Now, did you notice where I stopped right here to show you that I couldn't get under that? That's because I want to show you cleaning tool number 2 and why I love it so much. Okay, so here is the double Swiffer. It extends up to 6 feet tall. It has these, trying to hold this and do this at the same time. It has this thing right here at the base where you can see this moves. Hold on. Okay, hey Bentley. This just swivels back and forth, right? Now, if you want it to stay stationary, you push that and it's not going to move. It stays stationary. But when I'm doing floors, I like it to be this way. I'm going to put you, well, no, I'm not. I'm going to just hold this and do it this way. Okay, so now see, I can get under all of this. I can go around all of this. Push that out of the way. I can get around these legs. up into that corner, push all of that out. Now you remember how clean that was, right? I'm going to show you just how dirty it can get. I'm sorry my floor is so disgusting, but I really wanted to let it get this way so you could see exactly how well this works. Okay, so now this is the strip we were working on. I do a figure 8 pattern with my Swiffer. I just kind of go back and forth. I don't lift it up and shake it out and all that, because then you're defeating the purpose. So I don't do that. I keep it on the floor as much as possible and try to just keep it all contained, because if you shake it around, you're defeating that purpose of not pushing things around and not getting things up in the air, right? So that was under there. Now you can see under here, I can get all the way under that bar. I can go under here, pull all that out. And do the same thing. And then when I'm done with whatever I'm picking up and I have a pile, I just grab my vacuum and pick up my pile. If I wanted to get under my chairs, I would do this. It gets under chairs. If I wanted to go in between this small space right there, look at that. I just go in there and pull it out. I can get under this far, under my refrigerator, into this little crack right here. You can see that this gets in a lot of places that your regular vacuum cleaner would not get into. I can go under these crevices here. And if I wanted to just pull this all out just to be able to bring the Hero by after that, I could. If I just wanted to hit up on the baseboards to get any dust off the baseboards, I could do that. I could use this on my walls. Say I wanted to get behind this area right here. This is my entertainment center. I can take this all the way back there. Look at that, way back there, and pull it out. Look at that. If I wanted to get under my couch, I can go all the way under my couch. And look at what I'm pulling out from the other side of my couch. Right here, this is my entertainment center. I can turn this a little sideways and I can get underneath my entertainment center. Now when you're doing this, you do want to be careful of your cords, because I can't tell you how many cords I've disconnected by doing a fast pull on these things, and clients aren't too happy when I do that to them. So I think that gives you a good view as to why this is my number 2 top tool. And as you can see, it's not throwing a lot of things up in the air, it's keeping them contained. So when I'm in my clients' homes, this is usually the tool that I always use. Because a lot of people now work also from home, and it keeps me from making a lot of noise while they are working. So that's my number 2. And now let me show you. Look at that. And I could have kept going and swept up my whole house with that. It would have been really dirty by the time I was done, but it does the job. And then you just take those off and you throw them away. Then you got your money's worth out of those. Now on this one, the Norwex, I can do the same thing basically. Go around here, and again, I do everything in a figure 8 pattern. Now, as you can see, I can't get into the corners as well with the Norwex as I can with the Swiffer. And it's bulkier, but it's still moving everything. And keeping it contained. And like I said, you don't want to be picking up and shaking unless you have to. And as you can see, this also takes the stuff out of the grout. It pulls it out. Whoops, sorry. Okay, here we go. Scarlett's looking at my pile like, hey, I want some of that. Okay, so you get the gist of this. And you can just do that. Now, what I do, there's two ways I can clean this. I just kind of hit it with my foot. Let me show you that again. Hit it with my foot and just lay it down. And you can see all the stuff on there. When you buy your Norwex, excuse me, Scarlett, it comes with this tool, and this is a brush. And all you have to do is take your brush and sweep it off. Now, I feel like it doesn't get all of the stuff out of the fibers. So I'll show you what I do when I'm done. See, that takes all of that off. It'll take off all the fuzzies, and it brings back more of the cling on the pad that I had been talking about. What I do is I vacuum off the pad with my vacuum when I'm finished, so it's completely cleaned off. So there's that pad right there. I'm going to show you with my vacuum how I vacuum off that pad when I am done with it. I take my vacuum and I vacuum it towards me. I have my foot over here holding the Norwex. I have it on 2 and I bring it towards me. And I turn it around. And do the same thing. As you can see, nothing's coming out of it. It's totally cleaned off. So it's ready for the next time I sweep. So you guys, I hope that this was able to help you with some different ideas for sweeping your floors if you're having issues with your broom or thinking there must be something else out there that I could use. I hope that this inspires you to be able to have some different ideas on what you can do, and we will see you again in a few days with another update video on the garden.